Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about a pretty spectacular aspect that I see all happening around August 8th. And it's so interesting because when I look at that date, it's 8-8. And the number 8 is, well, if you look at it, its symbol is infinity. And what's very interesting is that in Chinese culture, they look at the number 8 as the most powerful number of wealth and prosperity. And actually, the number 8 does bring prosperity if you look into numerology. But there is something spectacular going on this day. And spectacular, I don't know if it's in a good way or a bad way, but it's spectacular. So around this time, just all of the planetary influences are pretty astounding. So I want to explain what's going on in the heavens, but before I do, I want to inform everyone about my newsletter. If you're not getting my free newsletter, you're missing out. Let me just say that. So go to galacticcenter.org, sign up for my free newsletter, and you will get all of these predictions delivered to your email free every week. While you're at galacticcenter.org, check out my Patreon. You'll want to be a member. I'm telling you, we are connected as a spiritual community. And we all talk live every week. So there's a lot more things that it offers. Check it out. Also, remember my Galactic Planner. This is an amazing tool. It calculates your birth chart and gives you all your predictions every day into your calendar on your phone or computer. So check it out, galacticplanner.com. As well as if you have an interest and a calling for astrology, you'll want to be part of the university. Go to my university website, become my student, universityofvedicastrology.com. Now let me tell you what I am referring to with this day with all the aspects going on. Well, for one thing, I know I've been talking about Mars opposing Saturn and Neptune. And Saturn, Neptune, gosh, there's so many things that it's bringing out. Saturn is reality, Neptune is delusions, and together they represent so much coming out about cults and deceptions, delusions, illusions. It's really crazy. Mars is triggering that. And as I've said before, it could also deal with oil and gas. Saturn actually rules crude oil, while Neptune rules gas. So together, when Mars aspects them, it can have an effect on fuel prices, everything to do with the economy. So this could cause a drop in the economy. I see September, there's a rise. But going back to this, aside from that Mars opposing the Saturn-Neptune, there's another dynamic going on this day that cannot be ignored. And this is really where I wanted to go with this talk. Because Mars sits somewhere around 7 degrees of Virgo, while Pluto sits at 8 degrees of Capricorn, and Uranus sits at 6 degrees 54 minutes, which is essentially equates to 7 degrees. So within a degree orb, we have a Grand Earth Trine. Now remember, I do Vedic astrology, not Western tropical. They're in earth signs. Uranus is not in Gemini like all the Western astrologers are talking about. Ask an astronomer. It's in Taurus. I know that probably makes them mad, but there's all this hype about Uranus going into Gemini when it's not. It's in Taurus. So anyway, Mars is casting a perfect trine. So Mars trine Pluto, Pluto trining Uranus all by itself is a very rare aspect. These are very slow-moving planets. And for them to form an exact trine really connects these two planets. A major change and transformation. Remember in the 60s when Uranus was conjunct Pluto, and it was practically the whole 60s, the mid 60s, they were exact. They caused all sorts of revolutionary changes that went on globally. The breakdown, the rebellion, the wars. These two planets are connected by a trine. Now, traditionally, the trinal aspect is a positive aspect. So I'm gonna go with that. It's a positive aspect. It means things flow easily between the energies of these two planets. And Pluto, by the fact that it is in Capricorn, which is a sign that deals with government, with business, with work, with production, being useful. Pluto here brings out an amazing change within how governments are being run and the rule of law. So Uranus, as it deals with sudden, unexpected events, with Pluto meaning transformational changes that change the world forever. This is going to be something shocking that wakes up the world. What do I say Uranus is? The Great Awakener. And with Pluto, which is major transformation, we are awakening to a whole new world. And I think it's got to lead to something positive and good because they're in a trinal aspect. Now Mars is trining both of them. So this is a grand trine. And because they're all earth signs, this deals with the economy. There's some big turning point in the economy with this. These earth signs deal with getting things done in a materialistic way, getting the material world in order. And Mars it's energy. Mars is energy. Mars being trine both those planets gives them energy, makes things progress quicker. But then again, we've got that Saturn-Neptune aspecting Mars all at the same time. You know, whenever there's a day where there's a lot of aspects occurring all in one day, it's a day that something will occur or around this time because, you know, the day before, the day after, they're still pretty much in this aspect. So we don't have to say it's only on the 8th. Give it a week or two around this. That monumental, transformational, radical awakenings occur and transformations. Things are shaking, things are changing. And not only that, the Neptune-Saturn is still exact. And I got to say, one more thing is that Jupiter, by the fact that it's in the sign of Gemini, actually awakens people to communications and anything to do also with travel. But I'm not particularly fond of Jupiter and Venus both being together. Almost in exactly 3 days from this date, they will be exactly conjunct. In the nakshatra Ardra, which symbol is a teardrop, there is I just want to say, around this time, get ready. The world is changing quickly, dramatically. It will be shocking. It will awaken us. And transformation is what it's all about. So there is a Grand Earth Trine with Mars, Pluto, and Uranus, while Mars exactly opposes Saturn, Neptune. And then within a few days, Jupiter conjoins with Venus. There is so much to be had and happening. The world is ready and the world is changing. So get ready. Fasten your seatbelts for a fast and furious ride. Something big is transforming and changing our world. Therefore, you know what I think ultimately is happening? It's changing our consciousness. That's another thing I speak of all the time when I talk about the outer planets. When they aspect each other, they actually elevate and change consciousness collectively. So we're going to another level. You know, this could deal with AI, but you know what? As everybody has been saying, AI, as all the good aspects it has, is going to make people lazy and dumb. And that takes away from the creativity. So this deals with a big wake up concerning all of the futuristic things that we've been talking about, or that the world is talking about, I guess I should say. And this wake up is so deep and so profound because people's intelligence and awareness is going to another level at this time. That's what I'm really seeing. So if you think, oh, this is just another humdrum prediction, no, this is something far greater than I've been able to see in a long time. And let me say this Uranus and Pluto aspect are going to be in effect this whole year. So do I think it's going to happen in a day? No. But this month we'll start to understand where we're headed, because consciousness is changing collectively. And I see it all in the stars. So with that, I think I'll close. If you would like more information on me, remember you can always go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Thank you.